Okay, so this is how the NFT gen tool works. So we have this configuration which defines um, the layers we want to use. I'm defining all of them. I don't provide any specialties like weights for each trade and things like that. It just defined the layers, and it automatically discovers all the images and uses them. So if I look at the backgrounds, it's just colors, and then left bottom is just some stuff in the left bottom, and right top is obviously some stuff in the right top. And then we just go and we just run the tool when we find it. So what we're doing here, we call NFT gen run, use the minimal config, output it into the output minimal directory, and then generate 100 NFTs. We can do a bunch of other stuff, but let's just do this. So it's producing 100 NFTs. It has some kind of progress bar so that you know you're not stuck. And then once that's done, we can see these free items in the output minimal. So we have all the images, this 100 images completely randomly generated. We can specify weights for each color, for each layer, for each variant of each layer. Let me put it this way. And then there are some other kind of constraints that we can leverage. So things like, actually here, things like minimal IDs. So if you have something that should only be in the like first 10 NFTs, you can specify the max IDs, and then the particular trade type, trade variant will be only in those NFTs. And the same goes for like if it should only show up in the second half of the collection, things like that. Then whole layer can be limited by the IDs as well. And then it also produced the metadata. So I'm gonna show that here, probably it makes more sense. So we find the minimal metadata. Then we can see that it points to an image on a local file system, and then it lists all the various traits. And then NFT has its name, and then it has this description. And then we have the rarity files. So for each layer and each variant of that layer, we get how many times it actually appeared in the collection, and then what is the percentage among the layer variants and among all the NFTs. This is not that interesting here because we use basically a uniform distribution for all the various traits. If we wanted to add something more fancy, we can take some stuff from here and we can use the weights. Let's say for this last one, nope, that's wrong. For this last one, we can put in weights, and we can say, okay, let's leave it like this. So 60, 30, 10. We can do even something like 45. 45 and 5. This should ensure that this will be there will be just really few of the last ones. So when I rerun that, and I can just do like minimal 2, so we have 2 different folders there, and it's done. Minimal 2 rarities, and then which one was that? Sorry, the right bottom. So we need to find the right bottom, and we can see that we have 65% of the X, 28% of the Y, and then 7% of the Z. This is obviously not what we define here, but it's just an approximation because we need to generate enough NFTs for this to like fully kick in. So if we generated all the possible combinations, and we would get to this distribution. If we generate only a few NFTs, then we get something with some level of randomness, basically. Yeah, that's that. I think that's it. I think that's mostly what it does. It doesn't do anything more fancy.